That's interesting, right? Changing the perspective from having the feeling like and then observing the feeling.
Mhm.
When that is trapped, right? Is when we can't see from another angle, another view. And these trapped charges become automatics when they're unexamined.
I think
Heinz,
what's difficult in, sorry, Jessica.
I was just going to give Heinz, he might want to hit unmute at some point. I don't want to leave him out. Thanks, Allison.
Mm-hmm. I think what's difficult for us when we start out doing work like this in terms of the automatics is that the automatics lead to those trapped charges. And so it's really hard to find that little gap where you can begin to have some leverage and see.
Yes. Where does gold collect? In those crevices, those veins, those cracks, right? And it's like getting in and opening those cracks.
Mm.
I like what you said in the chat, Jesse, about exploring the opposite side of the charge. Like that seems like a way that makes sense to find those in-betweens to me. Like that really aligns with
Yes.
what I've been kind of trying to focus on.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, you can think of it as creating space.
Hmm.
Another way I think of it is the opposite. The 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 ends, like the farthest end. If I'm stuck on thinking about one thing or worrying about one thing, like I'm on one end of it. And then I try to go to the way opposite end and explore that. It's almost like what's the worst that could happen, and what's the best that could happen. Because I know it's somewhere in between.
Mm.
Our automatics just have us tend to go to the ends, the edges.
I think I lived in that space where I didn't think it would go to the 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 extreme end of the negative. And then it did. And it just kept on happening. And then I got trapped in that. And
Yep.
so then, of course, that's what I focused on.
Yep.
And of course, what happened?
So what did you create then?
Chaos and
More.
rigidity at the same time, right? Yeah.
Mhm. Then along the way, there's some acceptance of that.
But you can look at all the negatives places we go as not negative, but just the way that we weren't supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Take it as a teacher.
So trapped charges are like ones are automatically assigned. So there are charges that are automatically assigned. They are charges that we automatically assign, and they can be like society can form them as a majority as well. Now I was thinking of like, how to demonstrate that. And what charge would you, so in the silence, say the word yes, and what charge does it trigger for you?
Expansion. Possibilities.
Can you ask
And
that
what,
question again?
sure. So what charge is yes?
It's an open positive charge.
How about no?
Cement. There is nothing beyond no possibilities.
Fascinating.
Mm.
Charge, I only work with positive, negative, and neutral. I don't give it any other options.
Oh,
See, that sets the direction for me. Then I can explore all the other words that are associated, like opposite and similar, like associated. But it gives me a starting, it like narrows my filter. I'm doing this. See, we have so many emotions, right? And so many words that we can get trapped in all of them. Meaning it's like to explore, charges are just emotions or feelings. And there's so many of them, like that we don't even have names for. It's like reaching into a bowl of spaghetti. You don't know which one, where's the beginning and where's the end until you start pulling them out. That's what charges helped me do.
Mm.
I was lost in my spaghetti of emotions. There was no names for them, but they were automatically there. I was unaware of them.
Mm.
There's so many thoughts. Really, we only have a couple of thoughts, but we think we've got so many thoughts. They just keep playing around and around and around. They chase the tail, right? And it's just like overwhelming.
Yeah, many of the thoughts are side thoughts to the main thought.
Right.
Mm.
The thought might be, what if I'm late? Well, then there comes other future thoughts about what possibilities comes from being late. And you haven't even come late yet. So you're actually creating your own trap.
Cascading momentum.
Yeah.
And even as I say momentum, right? Momentum for me is a positive charge, which means I don't associate it to a negative direction. But it can exist, and momentum can continue in a negative direction. That is still momentum.
Yeah, the more you attach stories to it, you're building that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought momentum was neutral in one way, like flow state.
Mm-hmm.
Then you create the charts by either swimming against the current or swimming with it, or you can just flow with the momentum of itself.
Yeah. Well, that's the place to be with all of the words is in the neutral. So
Yeah.
you're ahead of me in momentum, Heinz. It's like, and that's the beauty of it is we'll all be like, some people will think of yes as a negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. And so I
Like
think
if you
of
get
like a,
oh sorry.
go ahead, please. Yes.
Um what you just said about the tide just made me think, if you get swept out in the ocean, right, the key is to swim parallel to the shore and accept that you don't know where you're gonna meet up again with land. But that's the way to avoid drowning. It's like that neutral, that acceptance of the spot that you're at and the choice to just take your time and move.
Mm. Because eventually you'll find that spot where the current will bring you in.
Mm.
And what happens when you fight it?
We get into big shit.
You use all your energy the wrong way, or right or wrong, but you're using all your energy and you're still going to get pulled out to sea.
Yeah,
Right or wrong is a perspective.
yeah. So it's getting into shit at perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
What charge do you give old?
Old.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the key is instantly you hear the word, like the word comes from nothing, and it's that instant first charge sense that you get. Because if we take time to think about it, right, we lose it. And we'll say the ego or the thinking mind will put in its rational answer.
Old is neutral. It's a natural thing.
Wasn't for me. It was a negative. Like I attached a negative to it. So then in that is my trapped bias, you know. And then if I look at old, then the opposite is young. And it's like, oh, what is young? Does young have a charge? For me, yes, it's more of a positive, and it's like I can, and that is how I see society. It's like a negative to getting older and positive to the younger. Just my story. That's my trapped bias. It's only mine. I don't say that you share it.
A young body may be more positive, but a young mind is unexperienced. So it's a bit of both.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And that's it, is it? And so you're providing different perspectives for my trapped ones.
And old car may be a piece of shit, but it can also be a classic.
Meaning it can be both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A shitty classic. I think with both old and young, it depends on what kind of care you're giving it also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're nurturing the young mind, well, it's a positive thing because it can expand way faster often than the old mind can.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're nurturing the old body, it will sort of do its best to actually perform up to your age. So, got to take more care of the old. The old is a little more fragile in one way.
Mm. I read a quote yesterday. I'll summarize it. Thoughts are just data from the past that you are regurgitating.
Yeah. That's all the ego can do.
Mm. I didn't know how I quite felt about that. For the most of it, I agreed. And then my thought was, but when we're innovating, we still need thought. And when we're innovating, we're using intuition, which isn't from the past, it's from the present.
Intuitively doesn't even come from the mind, it comes from the heart.
Ah, very good.
Mind can only play past programs.
Hmm.
Because what it's receiving is what we perceive. It has to sort of experience it before it can talk about it. The heart can fantasize about stuff that it is way out there, that does it never have experienced, but it still has a pretty good feeling what it's like.
And yet they don't operate completely separately, hang on.
It's a confluence between the two.
But one leads.
Yep.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, that's the choice that leads. That's the next level. That's what you choose to listen to, heart or mind.
Noticing the difference between the two. Which again, for me, best I can tell is in a charge. Because when my mind thoughts are neutral, then I can allow all this, then I can add, then I'm open to the possibilities of the heart.
Great.
And like as Pascal says, you know, as soon as I attach to something, like from my thinking mind, as soon as I attach to something, like I'm directing it from the ego rather than allowing what was there from the heart. And it was like this morning in this silence, the word overwhelmed was like what just was right there. It's like, no idea why. See, that's my thinking mind trying to put reason to it. When there's no need to. Well, good morning, Craig.
Good morning, Craig. Long time no see.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, Craig.
Yeah, I suppose it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yep. How are you
Depends
doing?
if you live in the past or you live in the present.
Yeah, we're working on that. More than you know.
Yeah, in reality, it was just yesterday.
In reality, it doesn't matter. You're right here, right now.
Yep.
Exactly.
Which a peace is found in the presence, in the present moment, in a neutral charge.
Hmm.
I think that is what everyone is going for, is peace.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, who'd want to give like where we are in our conversation for Craig?
We're working with charges. Positive, negative, and neutral.
Ah,
Is like automatically trapped charges.
yeah, neutral is very powerful because it can go either way.
Yeah.
It is.
It's definitely a choice point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like when you put your car to neutral, depending on you on the hill, right?
It does not like to roll uphill. It does not like to roll uphill.
Yeah.
Good example of automatics. Meaning the momentum will always carry it down the hill in neutral.
Yeah.
It, now our thoughts and feelings don't work like natural laws.
Yeah, like gravity.
Right. But then, like another perspective says they do. But then our ego, doesn't allow it. Because it's like, it can't be because I'm right.
Yes, you are.
We get
Fight to be right.
the moment, though.
I'm sorry, Greg.
I said we get to choose the energy of the moment.
Every moment. That is so much harder to do when we're conditioned that the moment is always controlling us.
Yeah, it's automatic. You choose gravity.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
but there are options.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think like as you it's like the another question or litmus test is, am I limiting or am I expanding space? I think that's another, like if I was looking at charge and I positive, negative, then I also can see it as like, is that expanding or contracting the present moment or my options or my space?
That depends on your magician's mindset.
Hmm. If you dive into, oh my God, I'm falling, then you're focusing on one point and going for it instead of saying, I'm falling, what can I do about it? Same action in the present, but you've got two different choices.
You know, the law of aerodynamics sets you free from the law of gravity.
Aerodynamics, that's the one where you push the wheel into high speed and then sort of drop it in like a pendulum, but it doesn't go down to normal state. It just stands and run around because it has momentum.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
But gravity is temporarily disabled.
Yeah. Good morning, Sandrell.
Good morning, beautiful souls. Good morning.
Oh, I see that little red coat.
Ah.
Oh, my.
Ooh. I don't know. Is it Kailas?
Kailash or Kailash? Yeah, hello.
Calais?
Kailash.
Kalis. I'm just doing extra. Okay. Kalis.
No worries.
Hi. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Look. Good morning, everyone. Grand Rising.
Hi, Kalis. I'm Craig.
Morning.
Hi.
I'm an oldie but a
You're
goodie. On this call, anyway.
I was listening in a little bit on YouTube. It's funny because I had the phone in my side pocket and it just popped on. So I had you guys' voices in my ear. I was like, yeah, negative charges out on the water. Where's the energy going? Do you just, if I was out in the ocean and I just floated, would I eventually get to shore? Okay. Negative charges, positive charges. Does that depend on the way I perceive it and receive it and interact with it?
Ooh, I love to perceive, receive, and accept.
And interact. Hey.
Engage.
Yeah.
You're a live wire this morning, Sindrel.
Man. I feel like I'm actually experiencing myself becoming a better or a more enlightened, more engaged spirit than physical. I'm like, oh, this stuff is cool. Hey.
Hell yeah.
It is so cool.
One of those really expansive days, huh?
One of those things.
You mean it wasn't like a light switch and it all of a sudden just all showed up?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I say it because I think so many people think that's what the transformation is.
Mm.
My transformation as I experiencing it now, it's like all of these elements of my universe, and I'll say mine only because from your perspective, your elements of the universe may be something else. It's like all of these, whether trials, tribulations, resources, aspects, perspective, lessons, anecdotal stories, phrases. It's like, oh, it's all like coming together in the me that I am, as I am. And I'm really like learning to, just because something is good, that doesn't mean I have to have it, own it, be it, do it. Like, oh, that's great. I can appreciate it for, oh, that's great. And I can enjoy it for it being what it is without it being me or me having to have it or do it. Like Mona Lisa hanging on the wall. I love that, but it's great hanging. Just, it doesn't have to be in my house. Right? So,
There's Pascal's attachment.
right. I woke up with a energized spirit. It's like, oh man, it was so clear. So, okay, today you can actually get rid of a lot of papers.
Permission, the permission slip.
Leaning out the closet.
Say that again.
Leaning out the closet.
Yeah. I started with my refrigerator, of course, but I can get rid of papers. I can get rid of papers. Now is the time to do that. That's the alignment that I'm in.
Wow. Great place
So
to be.
Yeah, it is like letting even go of calamity and taking responsibility of my own authority of me.
Sounds to me like you're getting your power back.
Yeah, I did some writing this morning too. Yeah.
Isn't that glorious?
Yeah.
It's real new moon energy, Sandra.
So it's awesome. And I see that I'm attracting more of it as well. Like it's that material activator or whatever in the brain. It's like I saw someone walking through my community parking lot, and I was not at a point of looking at them the way the sun was coming, but usually I'll initiate a good morning, hello. And they initiated it. Good morning, hello. Where he could have easily stayed engaged in what he was doing and ignored my presence. But no, he felt safe to say good morning, hello, to share his energy with me. I was like, yeah, I'll take that charge. Good morning back at you. Yeah.
Then you just dropped onto the call to see with the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad you did. I feel like I've been experiencing similar, or I guess like what you're saying resonates with experiences that I've had the past couple of days as well, and it's been bringing me like pretty immense joy.
Ooh, give me a sample. Come on, give me some. Come
on. Yesterday I walked partway down a path. I was just out for a walk for the first time in a little while.
Wait a minute,
when
wait a minute,
like
wait a minute, wait a
being
minute,
outside
wait a
just made me
minute,
so
wait a minute,
happy, right?
wait a minute. I want to rest in that. You went out for a
Sure.
walk. I feel like
Yeah,
that needs to be
exactly.
celebrated with you. Yes. Yes. You went
Yes,
out the
you're so
door
right.
and you walked just for
Yep.
the joy. Go ahead,
Yeah.
girl. Okay, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Tell me some more.
Yeah. Okay. So, I was gonna walk through this path, uh, but then I ended up actually having a random like outburst of hives, which is not a great experience. But we're just gonna run right past that. It's over. But so I cut my path a little bit short, and I walked up the steps from the ravine earlier than I would have. And because I did that, this man, he must have been like 70 riding on his bike. Like I had my headphones in and it looked like he was screaming that something was wrong. And I took my headphones out and he was just going, "It's summertime!" Like just flying through the neighborhood in like pure joy. And it was just like such a happy, safe feeling interaction. And I was like, man, I would have missed out on this, and it made it so worth it.
And even the hives could not
Maybe a
be
strange
a
example,
negative
but the most
charge.
recent. Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. That's like the town crier. It's
Yeah.
summertime.
It was good. He was thrilled.
It's a delightful story.
Mm. He was sharing all of his energy.
Mm.
And creating it at the same
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
summertime.
Exactly.
Thank you
That's
for sharing
expansion,
that.
right?
Yeah.
No, thank you for asking. Uh,
Oh, we Craig. I haven't heard from you in so long. It's like the rainbows are like saying, come on, Craig, give me some color, give me some flavor, yeah, whatever it is, just dump it in. Give me some of you. What's going on? What do you want going on? What are you creating to go on? What is it
Been feeling it?
that is definitely out in the ozone layer that you're bringing in right now? Come on, I'm gonna add my energy to you as to bring it in. Come on, what? Share. Anything. You can sing the ABCs. I don't care. Give it to me.
1, 2, 3.
Just give me a second to feel into that question.
Oh, I feel it coming as you meditate and all of that. When you make recipes, sometimes that recipe just needs just a little something, right? And you put it in there, and then people taste your food, and they go, what is that little hint of something that makes such a difference? Everybody here makes a difference in our own lives, each other's, the universe, the expansion. We all get to revel and enjoy this.
Yeah, here's what's coming to me. Surrender to your true nature.
Mm. Mm. Say it again. Say it again. Come on.
Surrender to your true nature. Give it free rein.
Mm. Mm.
And that's REIN and REIGN. Both.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Surrender.
It knows
Surrender.
all you got to do is ride along.
Mhm.
I just want to share that when Cinderella started singing in response to you saying that, it made me started like kind of dancing. So
Mhm.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Well,
Yeah, that's really expansive, isn't
I still got her song from last time on my mind. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot back.
Don't do this to me.
Mm.
And you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Hey, and you do it and you don't care who's
Hey,
looking, right? Ah, mm. I want to sit into that surrender, that joy of just like relaxing, releasing, and being. What are you feeling right now? Like for me, I'm feeling the sun on the right side of my face. I'm feeling a gentle, shallow breeze coursing across my sweaty back from walking, and I do appreciate it. Surrendered to the tweeting of the birds. Surrender.
feel the serenity of all your love around me. Just walking with you by your side, Cinderella, as you're talking about it, I can imagine just walking with you, or just being right there. And then when we sang the song, I was thinking about Pascal and the child swimming, or what's it called? He gets to hear all those songs over and over again.
Yeah,
Once a week.
once a week, at least, yeah. Because there's one called Miss Rachel. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but that's she's really popular on YouTube. And then his favorite video, it's all like songs, and they go, and I think it's a 2 hours video or something. And yeah, and do we listen all of them? Of course we do.
Yes.
Many, many times.
it?
The second childhood, Pascal.
The what, sorry?
It's our second childhood.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
that is And in the like those songs like could be like, oh, these songs are playing forever, right? And it's like, no, like enjoying that kinetic energy, that freedom, being in, like for me, I imagine it's like the land of plenty for me, but for the child, it's like the nuance of the newness and no fear and freedom and experiencing, and life's a song.
Well, my joy is like to see him like bouncing on the ground with his arm in the air,
Mhm.
And the change that's happening with him, from like, I wouldn't say even birth, but like 6 months to right now, like how much he interact with the music, and such a beautiful change.
Mm.
He's exploring the possibilities.
Yeah.
And at that age, new ain't dangerous.
Mm. It's almost like new is needed, right?
Yeah.
Such a strong impetus for it.
New is the yes and.
Welcome home.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's expression of the self with no thought.
Mm.
It's really heart-led.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, and I
Mm.
want to add like something that Craig said. Well, Sindra asked the question and Craig answered, and then he was like, let me tune in. Let me feel that. And then you came with surrender of your true self. And I just want to add that, like, if you were to think with your thinking mind, you wouldn't come up with that. Because the thinking mind cannot
Mm.
surrender.
No, to the thinking mind, surrender is a bad thing. It's giving up.
Yeah, it's given up. That's our logical mind would say, right? Surrender is given up.
In the heart, it's giving
I am
in.
defeated.
Yeah, it also can't even recognize your true nature.
No.
Which makes it even harder to surrender to it. Because your mind will just say, no, that's not even real.
Mm. I still go back to the interaction between the two, but it's the one that leads that makes the difference.
Yeah.
Because we need both, right? One
Yes.
informs the other.
Yeah, our mind is the interface with the physical.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they call it the logical thinking mind.
Mm-hmm. There's that wonderful Supertramp song.
Mm.
And it happens so fast unless we pause and catch it, which means of being aware of it. For example, I put in my other headset that has the wire,
I grabbed it, knocked it out of my ear, and I said, I hate these fucking wires.
Cut them. Hey, Jesse, cut them. Cut
Well,
them.
I have
Cut
my
it. Cut it.
regular
See
earpiece,
how,
right?
how much they're working after that.
I know, right? But it's like, like that led in the moment, and you can just hear, you can feel that charge that I have behind it, and it's like I'm not even. It's like I can switch them out instantly, and right. It's like, oh,
Yeah, we use a lot of energy on nothing.
yeah, and it might not be the wires, right? There might be something deeper in the background that this is just shining light on for the day.
Mm.
The key is to see it, the awareness. It's like, oh, and only we see that in that pause. Is that
I'll
my
give you an
heart
example
or
on
my
that.
head? Yeah, please. Yeah.
So, I got tenants and stuff, and then I got one that seems like he's taking me for a bank. And then I always kind of chase him for money, chase him. He's like, oh yeah, next week. Always the same story, right? And then last month I said okay, I'm completely done with chasing you for money, so I'm gonna charge you some interest. So it's up to you. If you want to pay me in a week, then it's $100 a day extra, right? And then I just let it go, right? So money came pretty fast. Kind of weird, isn't it? And then this month I just sent him a reminder. It was like, what? Just to let you know, as soon as they deduct from my account, I'll let you know the amount, and then that's how much you're gonna owe me. And then he was like, okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. And then I tell him the amount. I think it was the next day, and then he says, oh, by tomorrow you'll get the money. And I'm like, okay, fine. Tomorrow rolls around, and then no money. So I gave him a little bit the benefit of the doubt. I kind of slept on it, and then in the morning I just checked my account. Money's not there. So I sent him kind of the same message. I was like, well, it's up to you. You can pay me today, or you can wait a week and then just add $100 every day. And I'd say 2 minutes after I sent the text, I got the money. And it was really to me, it was just before, I just attached oh, he's not going to pay me, right? All the stories. But then I just kind of released the charge and be like, it's up to you now. Right? And it's kind of surrendering, kind of.
I like it.
Like I told my son when his foster mom is asking him if he want to go out with the trash, and he starts arguing. I just tell him, well, it would take you half a minute to go out with the trash, and then you waste 5 minutes arguing with her. What's the point? But it's that ego thing. I want to be right. I think it's the same with the tenant. He wants it to be him who's making the choice.
Yeah, he wants to be in control all the time, right?
Yeah.
I'll pay you when I feel like it. Sorry, that doesn't work anymore like that.
Yeah, but whoever feels like releasing money, like if I don't have to, I ain't gonna do it, right? So the more money he got, the more power he got. He's still sleeping and comfortable in his place and in his zone, you know. But well, I like what you did is you just let him, wait a minute, this is my place, but this is your domain. You need to own, you need to pay to own this space. And you put it back on him. You didn't carry his weight. And look at all of the energy you've expelled over time with different behaviors with this person. It's like, no, this is your shit. You own your shit. And we don't have to keep having this conversation because I don't have energy for it. I'm not giving you energy for it.
It's interesting that thing that we will give away our energy without having any real recognition of doing that. And it's our most precious commodity. Without energy, there's not much you can do.
Ooh, I need to sit with that one. It's one thing if I spend my energy, but it's something totally different when somebody else spends my energy for stuff that I wouldn't even vote for.
Remember, we were talking about getting your power back? That's exactly it. Like in our society, we're trained to give away our energy all the time.
That's what they want on the top. They want us to give it away so they can get it.
Yeah. But you notice nobody ever refers to it that way.
Nope.
You know, like in terms of energy. Like that's one of the things that I've noticed since we started having these conversations back a year and a half ago. Unbelievable. But yeah, is that every single person on the planet is energy depleted.
Say that again, Craig, sorry.
Every single person on the planet is energy depleted.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say every single person, but yeah, most of us. Yeah.
At a level of energy that's below optimum, and that's because there's no conscious management of it.
Well, I think that's why we come here, to have that conscious management, awareness, surrendering of it, because I'm energized here.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I do remember going through a long travail of time where I was just putting out energy. And there was no real reciprocation of it.
Yep.
And even when like my children would be there and I should have been enjoying certain moments of being re-energized, you know, in their pure love, I couldn't even receive it because my container was so depleted. It's like a car that needs charging, electrical now, right? Or needs gas, and not having that fueling station. And even driving up to the fueling station, so-called church, like every week, traditionally, blah, 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 blah. And still my container could not even receive the re-energizing because I had holes in my container. So what I would get, it was like before I left out of church, it was like it was holes, like putting new wine in old bags. It was just like it wasn't doing anything for me. So there comes our own awareness of self-care. It says, love thy neighbor as thyself. Well, honey, I wasn't even the love I was putting out. I was putting service out, but was I putting love out? Because I was not loving me. And me loving me is surrendering. And we talked that hit me pretty hard about hitting me, like surrendering. Surrendering to the stations that energize me, but not giving up to those things that take away from me so deeply. Don't take away from me. Let me give you what I have to offer, but don't take from me what I have. And let you be okay that I have what you want, but because I don't give it, you shouldn't want it if I don't give it, because I need to be able to give it. But if you take it, you just steal it, and you really cut everything off. It's like a flower. Once you cut it off and give it to somebody, it ain't, it's gonna die.
But besides people, there are so many things in our world that are energy suckers.
So we've got a right to avoid those things, minimize those things, and choose to be in spaces and places and zones that do energize. That's us doing self-care.
So that question comes to me again of what do we choose to allow to lead?
Yes. Yeah.
And then we go back to the beginning. What charge are we giving it? Positive, negative, or neutral?
And for me, it always comes down to choice.
Our superpower, right?
Yeah.
That we spend so many years not realizing that we're exercising it, that we have it. And so we go back again to the awareness of it all.
For some reason, I'm getting the picture of a sports arena. You got the positive charge on the team that's winning, the negative charge on the team that's participators that are losing, but the neutral are watching one great game.
Okay, I'm gonna throw maybe a monkey wrench in there. I think and am thankful for the negative charges, for I would not have known a positive charge and how to ride that positive charge out to infinitum. I would not have grown the desire to go, that charged me negatively. I don't choose that. And it leads me in a direction of choice, very often into a trajectory of the unknown. Like, I don't know where this positive charge is going to rocket me off to, only because I haven't experienced it before. But I'll tell you, my ego subconscious somewhere, it trusts the negative charge more than it does the positive charge. And I'm still working on that. I'm like, why am I going to trust what I know And that's just
Mhm.
going down a sinkhole when the positive charge takes me further out or takes me to the unknown because I'm still evolving. So now we're back to surrender. For me, I'm back to surrender.
Yep, I'm with you, little Cindy.
Yeah, the ego trusts the negative charge way more because it's known to it.
Mm. And it's the weight
Positive.
too.
Yeah.
I feel it on my ankles. It's like, ugh. I don't want to be grounded. I want to surrender and rise, elevate.
Yeah, you're really getting somewhere where when you feel that in your body, like you said, like it's around your ankles.
Mm.
What a gift that is. To be able to sense that that's not good for you.
It's only in the awareness of it. Right? It's like in the awareness. It's like, yeah, no, there's my automatically trapped charge, my negative charge. I'm automatically trapped in it by my perspective of my history of what has been safe. And pausing to see it, then that is the only space where choice to do something about it exists. And exactly, Cindy, it's like we can choose the same old thing that we've always done, and yet we tell ourselves it's always different. That is crazy. Or look at the unknown, the potential, and be like, oh, I wonder what that would be like to do it differently. That's what I find freeing from that trap, is that awareness of, oh, that's my response, not good or bad, doesn't matter. Just to notice that, oh, that's my response. Is that the response? Is that my automatic that I want? And most of us would prefer not to have negative sensations or feelings, right? Yet we're so unaware that those are in our background.
Yeah, the negative show what not to do.
Yes. Yeah. And yet we continue to do them because it's safe and familiar.
I was brought back to the attention of auto-suggestion. And I appreciated that coming into my realm yesterday. I was like, oh, okay. It's, this is a good time for me to be aware, to intentionally put in some refreshed programming. I changed the oil on my car. The oil was good. I put the oil in, it did its mileage, and I've done auto suggestions before, but I haven't done them in a while. So now is a good time to evaluate what auto suggestions are automatically running in my subconscious. But I'm not going to spend time reading what they are now. I'm intentionally putting in a fresh batch of auto suggestions that resonate with me now today. And I think I feel like I'm doing myself such a good justice and favor. So I don't know who else may need or want to hear that or take me up on it or join me in like people do fast together. But, maybe, put in a fresh batch of auto suggestions that you run for about a week or so and let them serve you.
Well, let's do it
I
here.
like that. I'm down. Yeah.
Ooh, cool. Let me go up.
And I mean by here is like this time, like for the next week, we could like put that as the focus for the morning.
I like that.
And we don't have to create anything different. Like it doesn't add anything. We're using the space we already got. Yes, I accept your leadership, Sarah.
Hey, auto suggestion by intention. Yeah. Talk about getting out of your comfort zone. I just get out here now. I just do it. Yeah.
Right. And I could tell that from your response, from the charge inside your response, which was expansive, was accepting, which was, yeah, let's do this. I don't know how. There was a slight hesitation in it, but it sure wasn't like shut down, because some people, sometimes they're put under a situation like that. It'll like the weight's too heavy, and you hear that. It's like, oh, put a little bit too much on them, but then it's like, nor do I really want to take it off.
Well, let's just plunge right in. Okay. Just surrender, relax, and release. And there's this thing called the confidence formula. I don't know if this is going to be everything or what, but it's the moment. Okay. And you can take ownership of any aspect of it you feel you want to or not. Here we go. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to be and be it, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person called me. Third, I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind, positively or negatively, will eventually seek expression through some practical means of obtaining the object that's in back of it. Therefore, I will allow myself to surrender to 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Fourth, I have clearly written down somewhere. We need to write it down. I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life. And I will never stop trying it until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence of that attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon the truth of justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce other peoples to serve me, think, and grow rich because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing and cultivating love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them, and I believe in myself. So I'll take my hand upon the wall of the universe of life, and I sign my name to this formula of auto-suggestion, and I treat myself to repeat it to myself continuously in my consciousness, in my subconsciousness, in my environment, and with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I become and be that I am, because I is self-reliant and a successful person.
Damn.
Power to the people.
I got chills.
Yes. That was amazing, Cinderella. Thank you.
You are amazing. Amazing. Discover you. Wow. A girlfriend of mine has a youth group named Discover You. Oh, that's beautiful. Discover you now. Discover you. There is no limit, really is no limit to all you do. You're effective. You're impacting too. Whether you live by intentions, every day you're renewed. Discover you now. Find something new. Understand the grace that's in this place. Discover you. All right, there we go.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful, Cinderella. Uplifting.
You guys, you don't know because there are insufficient words to express to you how great this is. Jesse, you've done a beautiful thing here. You and Will, the whole collective is
Created a great place for love to rest and grow.
And to refuel.
Yes.
Replenish.
The gas station for the heart.
So I'm going to have to set an intention for next week. I'll have to do it at 7 o'clock to make sure I am available to keep my commitment. So next week we'll do some auto suggestions, and it's 7 o'clock Eastern time. Is that good for you, Jesse? No, you usually, it's 8 o'clock my time when you start.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to say 9 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock your time. Okay.
7 o'clock my time. Yep.
7 o'clock your time. You're a good early
Or
bird.
6. Sorry, 6.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever works. Yeah.
Okay.
And it is,
We'll come in with
in all those pieces, it almost appeared like there was 7 of them. We can make 7, and it's like every day bring forth one of them because it was a lot.
Amen. And there's 7 people on the line. How about that?
7s.
Well, I'm going to descend into this physical realm of responsibility and put some clay together and put some things on the kiln and shape some things up. You guys have an awesome and wonderful
I'm
day.
envious.
You have a beautiful
you
day.
as well.
Sandra.
Peace and love, everyone.
Stay safe.
Love and hugs, Cindy.
Yeah. Love and hugs.
I think I'm gonna descend now as well, actually, and get myself some sustenance. But thank you so much for having me, everyone. It's nice to meet you.
It was wonderful
Have
to
a
have
pleasant
you,
day,
Kate.
Karen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you too.
nice to meet you, Kayla.
And yeah, nice to talk to you again, Jesse, as well. Okay.
Bye, Kayla.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I think we're.
We're
Anything
done
for closing?
today.
Yeah, we are doing a lot of 2 hour talks these days. Again. Getting back into the flow.
Busy.
Yep, just surrender to your true nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can just like say one thing. What's happening here in Calgary? They had like a water main break, like about 15 minutes from my house. And I mentioned in these calls that I don't really watch news, right? For the last probably like 10 years. And then so it didn't really come in my awareness, you would say. But then the next morning, like my wife, like she's like, oh, well, she doesn't watch the news either, but she's on social media, and she was like, oh, did you hear about the main break in like 15 minutes from my house? And I was like, no, not at all. And she was like, oh yeah, it's affecting this, and da da da, right? So I'm like, oh, interesting. Hasn't affected me one bit yet. And then they have like a little group like at the salon, and then like, so the main owner says, I don't think we can work today. We cannot use the water, blah, blah, blah. There's restriction. And they're like about 30 minutes probably from the main break. And I'm at 15 minutes, right? So much closer. And so it says like, oh no, I don't think we can work. And then like Kara was like, screw this, I'm gonna be working. And I'm like, yeah, good on you. And then like, but then like the owner was like, oh, like we're risking to have like a $3,000 fine if we're like using water and stuff. And I'm like, really? Where did she get that? Right? So, but anyway, so I take off and then I go for grocery and stuff. And then like, like just thinking like, I don't know anything, right? I don't know anything. And then like, interesting enough, like after my groceries, like I stop at the car wash because my car is extremely dirty. And I meant to like do it the day before, but like I didn't have time. So I stop at the car wash. Car wash is open. I'm like, okay. So I wash my car and stuff, and then but to me, like it doesn't make sense if like hair salon are closed, but like car wash are open. It was just like, and then that night, like I didn't, I'll check Facebook a little bit here and there because I'm on a couple groups that I like Block Therapy and stuff. And then one of the feed was a friend of mine, and like he's complaining. He's like, "Oh, I can't believe like, the city like says like we shouldn't wash ourselves. We have restriction to wash ourselves for like 2 weeks, while during COVID, like they want to wash our hands every 5 minutes or whatever." And And I was like, my reply was like, "Sorry, I'm not aware. I didn't watch the news, and my life is wonderful." And it was just like, it's kind of like a summum of what like we were talking. Like if we attach to, oh shoot, like, oh no, like we don't have water, we better like just be careful. Now that I'm aware, like I'm not going to be stupid and like water my lawn. I'm not going to be that person, right? But then they came, like my wife, like she showed me an article that's saying like the restriction is actually outdoor, not indoor. So yeah, watering your lawn, like probably like car wash probably shouldn't be open in my opinion, but so stuff like that. But it was just like, oh well, when you don't watch the news, you're not affected by much.
Nope.
So
Into that state, I don't know and I don't care.
yeah, pretty much, Now I know, but I won't let it affect me. Like, yeah, like I said, like I'm not gonna like water my lawn, and it's fine, I don't water it anyway. So but yeah. So just, yeah, and then you can see like the change, right? Like your change, like, and see the people around you, how they react to things, and how they react to COVID, and how they react to this, and how they react to like big news. And, like it's a pattern that comes like right away, right? Like that $3,000 doesn't even surprise me that she came up with that, or like she heard that came in her awareness, because like she was the first one like, oh, well, we cannot work during COVID because like, we get fined, and there's like 2 people in the salon, while like a supermarket of like 300 people, they're open. And I'm like, oh, okay, right? Like, so, yeah.
Choice.
Choice.
Yeah.
That's it. And attaching emotion to past event.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah,
Or
COVID
recycling your experience, yeah.
COVID really played on the ego because it was unknown and it has to be dangerous.
Mm.
Oh yeah, it was a big test, right? It was definitely a big test.
Mm.
How far can we push this thing?
Exactly.
And now they just send it by plane somewhere. I don't know where, but it's gone. From one day to the other.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's fear. Unfortunately, we're dealing with fear. And sometimes we don't even know we're dealing with fear, right?
Absolutely.
It's just an automatic, right?
That's right.
It's just, the unknown fear.
So what comes to me
And I
is the
think,
thing that,
yeah.
sorry, Pascal.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. It's not that important.
What comes to me is that probably the most important thing that I can do is spend my energy on building my awareness.
Yeah.
That's a really good investment of energy. Might be the best one you can.
And like choosing to allow your awareness where you want to see or hear or feel or
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
the awareness is not something you feed by watching the news. It's something you feed by going out and watching life.
That's right.
because
Yeah,
I don't need to be aware of everything.
Correct.
Just
Right?
need
It's
to be
like
aware
that's
of what's
discernment,
important.
right?
just what's affecting your energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awareness of what's right there right now.
Yes.
And the beautiful thing about awareness is that there's no end to it.
Yes.
It will always go deeper. So there's the journey's never over in awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings William Blake's one. I don't know if it's a full poem, could be, where he goes, if you want to see the world in a grain of sand, and heaven in a wild flower, then hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour.
Mm.
In other words, you can be with everything in one moment, as with nothing, as with something. He really was a sublime soul, if one can say that. I need to go too, guys. Thank you so much again for today. It was wonderful.
Yep, me too. Thank you all.
Yeah, have a
Thank you,
pleasant day,
guys.
all. Bye-bye. Love and hugs.
Bye.
Love and hug.
Bye.
Yeah, you as well.
Great to hear from you, Craig.
Yeah, great to be back, Jesse.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.